Why Pluto isn't a planet? 9 minus 1. From 1930 to 2006, students were taught that there were 9 planets in our solar system. Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars are the small rocky planets closest to the Sun. Farther out are the gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Beyond Neptune is the tiny, icy world of Pluto. Pluto was our 9th planet, but one day we were told that Pluto isn't a planet. There are only 8 planets in our solar system. What happened? Why Pluto isn't a planet? Read to find out. Out of this world! Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto were discovered with telescopes. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Pluto. Now it says Neptune, the last. Planet X. In the early 1900s, most astronomers believed that Neptune was the 8th and final planet in our solar system. They thought there was a 9th planet. They believed that another planet was crossing the orbits of Uranus and Neptune to change very slightly. An American astronomer named Percival Lowell used the name Planet X for this mysterious planet. In 1930, astronomer Slide Tombaugh made the discovery while working at Percival Lowell's observatory. He discovered Planet X. Out of this world! 11-year-old British girl suggested that the new planet be named after the Roman god of the underworld, Pluto. 1930 March. 2D4H56M. The arrows point out Pluto as seen from Percival Lowell's observatory in 1930. Like Planet X. Yeah. Ice world. Pluto is a long way from Earth. This makes it very hard to study. One of the best telescopes ever made is the Hubble Space Telescope. It has greatly improved our knowledge of Pluto. However, Pluto is so far away that even the best images of it are still blurry. Pluto is over 3.6 billion miles, 5.8 billion kilometers from the Sun. Since it's so far from the Sun, Pluto is one of the coolest places in the solar system. Temperatures can fall to minus 387 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 233 degrees Celsius. Pictures from the Hubble Space Telescope showed that the Pluto's surface has dark and light areas. The top photos are actual images of Pluto. Measuring Pluto. For many years, astronomers weren't able to measure Pluto's mass. In 1978, Pluto's largest moon, Charon, was discovered. Astronomers were able to compare the two objects to find out Pluto's mass. Until then, people thought Pluto was much bigger. Astronomers now realize that the discovery of Pluto was a lucky accident. Scientists have been incorrect about Neptune's mass and therefore hadn't figured out its and Uranus's orbits correctly. Percival's planet X never existed. Even if there had been a planet affecting Uranus's and Neptune's orbits, Pluto's much too small to be responsible. This is an artist's idea of what Charon looks like from Pluto's surface. Tiny world. Pluto's very small. In fact, it's smaller than our moon. Pluto's diameter is about 1,500 miles, 2,400 kilometers. The smallest planet, Mercury, has a diameter of 3,032 miles, 4,880 kilometers. Pluto has 5 moons that we know of: Charon, Hydra, next P4 and P5. P4 and P5 haven't been given proper names yet. I think that P4 and P5 looks like it's Pluto 4 and Pluto 5. Pluto. Yeah. Pluto's largest moon, Charon, is about half the size of Pluto. Pluto and Charon are only about 12,200 miles, 19,630 kilometers apart. Out of this world! Because Pluto is so small, it has a very little gravity. A person who weighs 100 pounds, 45 kilograms on Earth will only weigh 7 pounds, 3 kilograms on Pluto. Though they're really far apart, this picture shows Earth and its moon near Pluto and Charon so that you can get a sense of their size. That's odd. All planets and moons spin or rotate around an imaginary line called an axis. Usually, a planet's axis runs from the top to bottom. This means that it rotates like a spinning top. Pluto's different. Pluto rotates on its side. Days are measured by the amount of time it takes for a planet to take one rotation on its axis. Pluto rotates slowly compared to Earth. It takes Earth 24 hours to make one rotation on its axis. Pluto takes almost 6.5 Earth days to make one rotation. Out of this world! The planet Uranus rotates on its slide like Pluto does. This image shows the axis and the rotation of Pluto. The misfit. The planets in our solar system fit neatly into 2 groups: small rocky planets and gas giants. Pluto doesn't fit into either group. Pluto's made mostly of ice, but probably has a rocky core. Pluto has a very strange orbit. It's not on a flat plane. So Pluto is above the other planets at times and below them at other times. Also, instead of having a circular orbit, Pluto's orbit is shaped like an oval. Sometimes Pluto's orbit brings it closer to the Sun than Neptune is. Out of this world! It takes Pluto 248 Earth years to orbit the Sun. Pluto's orbit isn't flat like the other planets' orbits. It's just tilted just a bit. Where did Pluto go? 2001, a newspaper reporter visited New York City's Hayden Planetarium. He happened to overhear a young girl asking where Pluto was in the display of the planets. It wasn't there. After the New York Times published the reporter's story about the missing planet, letters from around the world poured into the planetarium. The planetarium's director explained that Pluto wasn't included because only the gas giants and rocky planets are shown in display. People were still upset. A planetarium is a building with a dome ceiling used for looking at images of the sky. This is the Hayden Planetarium. Pluto's neighborhood. At the time of Pluto's discovery, telescopes weren't as powerful as they are today. There were no space telescopes either. Astronomers once thought that Pluto was the only object in that part of the solar system. As telescopes got stronger, astronomers learned that there are many objects near Pluto. In fact, there are at least 70,000 objects in Pluto's neighborhood. Astronomers have named that region the Kuiper Belt. For years, astronomers have been finding larger and larger objects in the Kuiper Belt. Out of this world, the Kuiper Belt is home to thousands of icy objects, such as comets. Kuiper Belt. Let me take a close look. The Kuiper Belt is named after astronomer Gerard Kuiper. Big discovery. As in 2003, astronomers found a large object that was even farther away from Pluto. In 2005, they confirmed its existence and thought it was bigger than Pluto. The object, Eris, is believed to be a mix of ice and rock like Pluto. The discovery of Eris caused a lot of astronomers to question what a planet really is. Was Eris the 10th planet? At the time, there was no clear definition of a planet. Astronomers from around the world agreed that a decision had to be made. Out of this world! It takes Eris 550,000 Earth years to orbit the Sun. Some scientists now think that Eris is smaller than Pluto. And out in August 2006, the International Astronomical Union (IAU) held a conference. They voted on different definitions of a planet. One possible definition would have given us a lot more planets. Another definition will have kept the number at 9. The third possible definition will reduce the number to 8. The conference voted for the third definition. The number of planets in our solar system was reduced to 8. Just like that, Pluto was no longer a planet. Even after the IAU vote, there are still some astronomers who insist that Pluto is a planet. The dwarf planets. The IAU agreed that in order for an object to be called a planet, it must pass 3 tests. First, the object must orbit the sun. Next, the orbit must have become round due to the force of its own gravity. Finally, it must have cleared out all the objects other than moons in its path. Pluto only met the first two parts of the definition. It was too small to clear out all the objects in its neighborhood. Pluto was called something new, a dwarf planet. In order to clear its neighborhood, a planet must either draw in other objects or fling them out into space. Pluto can't do either of these. Pluto, Charon, P4, P5, Hydra, Nix. New Horizons. There is much we don't know about Pluto. Since the discovery in 1930, Pluto has remained a dark and mysterious world. In 2006, NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, launched spacecraft made to study Pluto. The New Horizons spacecraft will fly past Pluto in 2015. That's when I was born. New Horizons will take the first close-up images of Pluto and its moon, Charon. Afterwards, it will move on to study other objects in the Kuiper Belt. Out of this world. New Horizons will begin taking pictures of Pluto a few minutes before it reaches the dwarf planet. New Horizons will be close to Pluto for only about 30 minutes. 29. Pluto's facts. Length of year, about 248 Earth years. Length of day, about 6.4 Earth days. Average distance from Sun, 3.6 billion miles, 5.8 billion kilometers. Diameter, 1,500 miles, 2,400 kilometers. Next, maximum temperature, minus 369 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 223 degrees Celsius. Minimum temperature, minus 387 Fahrenheit, minus 233 degrees Celsius.